What if the breakfast you have trusted for years is giving you protein but not giving your muscles the full signal they need anymore? That is the part many people over 75 never hear. Eggs can be a good food. They contain quality protein, important vitamins, and they can still belong in a healthy diet for many adults. But after 75, the question is no longer, am I eating protein? The better question is, can my muscles still hear the message that protein is trying to send? Because aging muscle behaves differently. A meal that worked perfectly at 50 may not create the same response at 75 or 80. You may eat eggs, chicken, yogurt, or fish, and still notice that your legs feel thinner, your grip feels weaker, stairs feel harder, and standing up from a chair takes more effort than it did just 2 years ago. This does not mean your body is broken. It means your muscles need stronger support. As we age, many people develop what researchers call anabolic resistance. In simple words, the muscle becomes less sensitive to the normal rebuilding signal from food and movement. Protein still matters, but it often needs help from better timing, enough total calories, resistance exercise, minerals, antioxidants, healthy fats, and circulation-supporting nutrients. That is where certain fruits become far more interesting than most people realize. No fruit replaces a balanced protein plan. Let me be clear about that from the beginning. If you are losing weight without trying, getting weaker quickly, falling, or struggling to eat enough, you need personal medical guidance. But when the right fruits are paired with protein-rich meals, they may help create a better environment for older muscles to maintain strength, recover from activity, and stay functional. Today, I want to show you 5 fruits that can support muscle health after 75, especially when they are used alongside protein, walking, light strength training, and enough daily nutrition. We will count them down from number 5 to number 1. Stay until the end because the final fruit is not flashy, not expensive, and not new, but it may be one of the easiest additions for seniors who want better strength, steadier legs, and more confidence in daily movement. Before we begin, write your age in the comments. Also tell me this. Compared with 2 years ago, do you feel stronger, about the same, or weaker? Your answer matters because strength after 75 is not just about muscle, it is about independence. Now let us begin. One more thing is important before the list begins. When people hear muscle building, they often picture heavy gym equipment, young athletes, or painful workouts. That is not what I mean. For many adults in their late 70s, 80s, or 90s, the signal can begin with very small actions: standing up from a chair with control, walking down the hallway, lifting a light grocery bag, pressing the hands against a wall, or using a resistance band while seated. Your muscles do not need punishment. They need a reason to stay. Food gives the building materials. Movement gives the instruction. This is why a fruit eaten alone at night while sitting on the sofa will not transform strength. But that same fruit added to a protein-rich breakfast, followed by a short safe walk or a few chair exercises, becomes part of a smarter pattern. The pattern is what changes the body. Also remember that older adults are not all the same. One person may need more protein because they are recovering from illness. Another may need a softer diet because chewing is difficult. Another may need to limit potassium because of kidney disease. Another may need to watch sugars because of diabetes. So listen carefully today, but apply the information wisely. The goal is not to copy one rigid meal plan. The goal is to understand how these foods can fit into your personal routine. Think of this video as a menu of options. Choose what fits your health, your budget, your appetite, and your doctor's advice. Even one better meal repeated several times a week can matter more than a perfect plan you follow for only 2 days. And please do not feel discouraged if progress is slow. At this age, improvement is often quiet at first. You may notice that getting dressed feels easier, your legs feel steadier, or you need fewer pauses during a walk. Those small signs matter. They are evidence that your body is still responding. Record them, respect them, and keep building because steady effort is the language aging muscle understands best. Number 5, jackfruit. Jackfruit looks unusual, but it can be surprisingly useful in a senior diet. Many people know it only as a tropical fruit, while others have seen young jackfruit used as a plant-based substitute for shredded meat. It has a mild flavor, a soft texture, and it can fit into meals without requiring much chewing, which is important for many older adults. Now, jackfruit is not a high-protein food in the same way eggs, fish, chicken, or Greek yogurt are. That needs to be said honestly, But jackfruit can still support a muscle-focused diet because it brings carbohydrates for energy, fiber for digestion, potassium for muscle and nerve function, and a texture that makes it easy to combine with true protein sources. And that combination is the key. Many seniors try to eat more protein, but they do it in a way that is too dry, too repetitive, or too difficult to chew. They eat one boiled egg, half a piece of toast, and coffee, then wonder why their energy is low by noon. Jackfruit can help turn a small meal into something more complete, more satisfying, and easier to keep consistent. For example, young canned jackfruit can be drained, rinsed, patted dry, and warmed in a pan with olive oil, garlic, onion, and mild seasoning. It shreds apart beautifully. You can add it into a bowl with beans, lentils, chicken, fish, tofu, or eggs. Suddenly, the meal has more volume, more minerals, and more energy for movement. That matters because muscles do not rebuild from protein alone. They need energy. If an older adult eats too little overall, the body may use protein as fuel instead of using it for repair. This is one reason some seniors keep losing strength even when they believe they are eating enough protein. The meal is not complete enough to support the rebuilding process. Jackfruit can also be helpful in smoothies when ripe. Ripe jackfruit is naturally sweet, so a small amount can blend well with milk, yogurt, or a protein-rich base. For someone who wakes up with a poor appetite, a soft smoothie may be easier than a heavy breakfast. Add Greek yogurt or a medically appropriate protein powder, and jackfruit becomes part of a practical muscle-supporting meal. But be careful with canned varieties. Some are packed in syrup, which adds unnecessary sugar. Look for young jackfruit in water or brine, then rinse it well if sodium is a concern. Seniors with diabetes should watch portion size, and anyone with kidney disease should ask their clinician before increasing high-potassium foods. Here's the simple way to use it. Do not treat jackfruit as the main protein. Treat it as the helper that makes your protein meal easier to eat, easier to digest, and easier to repeat. Use it in stews, bowls, soups, soft tacos, or warm breakfast plates. The goal is not perfection. The goal is consistency. Because after 75, consistency beats intensity. And if jackfruit is the quiet helper, the next fruit is much brighter, sharper, and more protective. Number 4, guava. Guava is one of those fruits that looks simple until you understand what it brings to the table. It is rich in vitamin C, it contains fiber, it has natural plant compounds, and it adds a fresh, slightly tart flavor that can wake up a meal that feels boring. For muscle health, guava matters for one major reason. Older muscles need more than protein fibers. They need connective tissue support, immune support, and recovery support. Vitamin C plays an important role in collagen formation, and collagen is part of the structure that helps tendons, ligaments, skin, and connective tissues stay resilient. Think about the body like a tent. Protein helps rebuild the fabric. Exercise gives the reason to rebuild. But connective tissue is like the ropes and anchors that keep the whole structure stable. If tendons and ligaments are weak, tight, painful, or slow to recover, the person moves less. When they move less, the muscles receive fewer signals to stay strong. Over time, less movement becomes more weakness. That is why guava can be valuable. It supports the bigger system around the muscle, not just the muscle itself. Guava also contains antioxidants and plant compounds that may help the body manage normal oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is not a dramatic word for a video title. It is a real part of aging biology. Every day, your cells create energy, respond to inflammation, and repair small amounts of damage. With age, recovery can become slower. Foods rich in colorful plant compounds can help support a healthier internal environment. Again, this does not mean guava builds muscle by itself. It means guava can support the conditions that make movement and protein more effective. The easiest method is simple. Wash the guava and eat it like an apple if your teeth can tolerate it. The skin and flesh both contain useful compounds. If the seeds bother you, slice it, scoop the softer portions, or blend it. You can mix guava into plain yogurt, cottage cheese, oatmeal, or a smoothie. That is important because guava plus protein is more useful than guava alone. For seniors who struggle with constipation, the fiber in guava may also be helpful, but introduce it slowly. A sudden increase in fiber can cause bloating, gas, or discomfort. Start with a small portion. Let your body adjust. A practical muscle-supporting breakfast might look like this: plain Greek yogurt, chopped guava, a spoon of ground flaxseed, and a few soft nuts if you can chew them safely. Another option is guava blended with milk, yogurt, and a small amount of oats. That gives protein, vitamin C, carbohydrates, and fiber in one easy meal. For people who exercise lightly, guava can be useful before activity. You do not need a gym. A walk, chair squats, wall push-ups, heel raises, or resistance band rows count. The fruit provides some quick energy, while the rest of the meal supports recovery later. And this is the point I want you to remember. The fruit is not magic. The fruit is the assistant. The real team is protein, movement, sleep, hydration, and enough total food. If guava helps you move more and recover better, it has already done something valuable. Now let us move to a fruit most people walk past without realizing how useful it can be. Number 3, dried mulberries. Dried mulberries are small, chewy, naturally sweet fruits that often get ignored. They are not as famous as blueberries, grapes, or bananas. But for older adults, they can be a practical snack because they are easy to store, easy to carry, and easy to add to meals. Their biggest advantage is not that they are a miracle muscle builder. It is that they offer a compact package of energy, fiber, minerals, and polyphenols. That can be useful for seniors who do not eat large meals. One common problem after 75 is a smaller appetite. A person may not feel hungry, may get full quickly, or may skip meals because cooking feels tiring. But the body still needs fuel. Muscles are expensive tissue. They require nutrition to maintain. If food intake drops too low, the body may begin breaking down muscle to meet its needs. This is why small, nutrient-dense additions can matter. A spoonful of dried mulberries in oatmeal is not a complete muscle plan, but it can make the meal more calorie-supportive, more mineral-rich, and more enjoyable. Enjoyment matters because older adults are more likely to repeat meals that taste good. Mulberries also contain iron in modest amounts. Iron helps support normal oxygen transport in the body. When oxygen delivery is poor because of low iron status or anemia, people often feel tired, breathless, weak, or unable to exercise. But do not self-diagnose this. If you feel unusually tired, dizzy, pale, short of breath, or weak, ask your clinician whether testing is needed. Taking iron supplements without guidance can be harmful for some people. Food-based iron is different. Dried mulberries can be part of a varied diet, especially when paired with vitamin C-rich foods like guava, citrus, strawberries, or peppers. Vitamin C can help the body absorb non-heme iron from plant foods more effectively. Dried mulberries also contain plant compounds that are studied for their antioxidant activity. In plain language, they may help support the body's response to everyday cellular stress. For aging muscle, that matters because recovery is not only about building new tissue, it is also about protecting the tissue you already have. The best way to use dried mulberries is as a topping, not as a large bowl by themselves. Dried fruit is concentrated. It is easy to overeat, and it can raise blood sugar more quickly than fresh fruit in some people. A small handful is usually enough for many seniors. Try this. Add dried mulberries to oatmeal with milk and a spoon of nut butter. Or mix them with plain yogurt and chopped guava. Or combine a small portion with walnuts, almonds, or pumpkin seeds for a snack that gives energy, healthy fats, and minerals. If chewing is difficult, soak dried mulberries in warm water for a few minutes. They soften quickly. You can then stir them into porridge or blend them into a smoothie. Here's a simple rule. Use dried mulberries when you need a small nutrition boost, especially when appetite is low. They are not here to replace eggs, fish, dairy, beans, or other protein foods. They are here to make a senior diet easier to sustain. And that brings us to a fruit many people love but still misunderstand. Number 2, avocado. Yes, avocado is a fruit. And after 75, it deserves special attention because it solves a problem many seniors do not recognize: eating protein without enough supportive calories and healthy fat. Some older adults become afraid of fat. They hear the word fat and immediately think it is bad. But the body needs healthy fats. Cell membranes depend on fats. Hormones and many signaling processes depend on fats. Fat also helps meals feel satisfying, which can prevent older adults from undereating. Avocado is not mainly a protein food. It is more important as a source of monounsaturated fat, fiber, potassium, and a soft texture that makes meals easier to eat. That soft texture is not a small detail. If chewing is difficult, dry, high-protein foods may get avoided. Avocado can make a meal smoother, easier, and more enjoyable. Think of avocado as a support food for muscle meals. If you eat eggs, avocado can make that breakfast more complete. If you eat fish, avocado can fit beside it. If you eat beans, chicken, tofu, or cottage cheese, avocado can add healthy fat and calories that help the meal support your body instead of leaving you hungry an hour later. This is especially important for seniors who are unintentionally losing weight. Weight loss after 75 is not always a good sign. If the weight being lost includes muscle, strength can drop quickly. A person may feel weaker, walk slower, and become more vulnerable to falls. Healthy calorie-dense foods like avocado can be useful when appetite is limited. Avocado also provides potassium, which supports normal muscle contraction and nerve signaling. Potassium helps muscles receive electrical messages properly. Too little or too much potassium can be dangerous, so balance matters. Most healthy adults get potassium from food safely, but people with kidney disease or people taking certain heart or blood pressure medications need individualized guidance. That warning matters because avocado, dried apricots, and several other foods in this video can be high in potassium. High potassium foods are not automatically bad, they are simply not right for every medical situation. The easiest way to use avocado is to add a quarter or half to a protein meal. Mash it onto whole grain toast with an egg, add it to tuna or salmon salad, blend it into a smoothie with yogurt so the drink becomes creamy. Dice it into bean soup. Spoon it next to chicken, lentils, or cottage cheese. For a very simple senior meal, try scrambled eggs with avocado and soft fruit, or Greek yogurt blended with avocado, banana, and cinnamon, or a bowl of beans with avocado, olive oil, and cooked vegetables. The timing does not need to be complicated. The best time is when you will actually eat it. But if you do light exercise, having a protein-containing meal within a few hours afterward can support recovery. Add avocado to that meal, and you may find it easier to reach enough calories and nutrients for repair. This is where many people get nutrition wrong after 75. They try to eat like they are dieting. They reduce portions, avoid fats, skip meals, and then wonder why their legs feel weaker. But the goal after 75 is not simply to weigh less. The goal is to stay strong enough to live well. Avocado helps because it makes strength-supporting meals easier, softer, richer, and more satisfying. Now we arrive at number 1. This final fruit is small, inexpensive, easy to store, and surprisingly useful for muscle function. Number 1, dried apricots. Dried apricots are not dramatic. They do not look like a medical breakthrough. They look like a simple snack your grandmother might have kept in the pantry. But for older adults, they can be a smart addition when used carefully. The reason is their mineral profile. Dried apricots provide potassium, carbohydrates, fiber, and carotenoid pigments that the body can use as part of a healthy diet. Potassium is especially important for muscle function because muscles contract through electrical signals. Your nerves send the message, and minerals like potassium help the message move properly. When potassium intake is too low, some people may notice cramps, weakness, fatigue, or irregular muscle function. But the answer is not to overload on potassium. The answer is to get the right amount for your body and your medical situation. Dried apricots can help some people improve potassium intake through food, but they are concentrated. A small serving matters. 6 or 8 pieces may be too much for some people, especially if they have diabetes, kidney disease, or a potassium restriction. For others, a small portion may be a convenient way to improve the quality of a snack. This is why I want you to think of dried apricots as a tool, not a cure. They can be useful because they are easy. No peeling, no cooking, no blender, no complicated recipe. You can keep them in a cabinet, take them on a walk, or add them to breakfast. For seniors who live alone, simple matters. The best nutrition plan is the one you can repeat. Pair dried apricots with protein. That is the most important practical step. Dried apricots alone give carbohydrates and minerals, but they do not provide enough protein to protect muscle by themselves. Add them to Greek yogurt. Chop them into cottage cheese. Put a few pieces beside boiled eggs and whole grain toast. Stir them into oatmeal made with milk. Add them to a small trail mix with nuts and seeds if chewing is safe. If your teeth are sensitive, Soak them in warm water until soft. You can also simmer them gently into a soft compote and spoon it over yogurt or porridge. That creates a warm, comforting meal that is much easier to eat than dry snacks. Many people ask whether bright orange apricots or darker unsulfured apricots are better. The answer depends on tolerance and availability. Unsulfured apricots avoid sulfur dioxide, which some people are sensitive to, especially those with asthma or sulfite sensitivity. Bright orange apricots are often treated to preserve color. Neither version is a miracle. Choose the one your body tolerates, keep portions reasonable, and focus on the whole meal. Dried apricots also contain natural sugar because drying removes water and concentrates the fruit. If you monitor blood sugar, pair them with protein or healthy fat, and avoid eating large amounts alone. A few pieces with yogurt or nuts will usually be gentler than a large handful by itself. Now let us connect everything. The point of this video is not that eggs are bad. Eggs can still be valuable for many people. The point is that relying on the same small protein routine every morning may not be enough after 75. Your muscles need a broader support system. They need enough high-quality protein across the day. They need resistance-type movement, even gentle movement. They need minerals like potassium and magnesium in the right amounts. They need vitamin C and colorful plant compounds. They need healthy fats. They need sleep. They need hydration. They need total calories, because a body that is underfed will struggle to rebuild. So here is the simple plan. Use jackfruit to make meals softer, fuller, and easier to combine with protein. Use guava to bring vitamin C, fiber, and colorful plant support to breakfast or snacks. Use dried mulberries as a small energy and mineral boost when appetite is low. Use avocado to add healthy fat, calories, potassium, and softness to protein meals. Use dried apricots carefully for potassium-rich, convenient snacking, especially when paired with yogurt, cottage cheese, nuts, eggs, or oatmeal. And most importantly, do not use these fruits as replacements for real meals. Use them as partners. If you are over 75, strength is not about looking younger. It is about standing up without fear. It is about walking to the bathroom safely at night. It is about carrying groceries, climbing steps, opening jars, playing with grandchildren, and staying in your own home with confidence. Muscle is independence. And even later in life, muscle can respond. It may respond more slowly. It may need a stronger signal. It may need better nutrition and safer movement, but it is not too late to support it. Start small. Choose one fruit from this list. Pair it with one protein food. Add one simple movement, such as standing from a chair 5 times, doing wall push-ups, or walking for 10 minutes if your doctor says it is safe. Then repeat it tomorrow. That is how strength returns. Not through one dramatic change, but through small signals repeated every day. Before making major diet changes, especially if you have kidney disease, diabetes, heart failure, swallowing problems, unexplained weight loss, or if you take blood pressure or heart medications, speak with your doctor or a registered dietitian. This video is for education only. It cannot diagnose you, treat you, or replace personal medical care, but it can remind you of something important. Your body is still listening. Give it protein, give it movement, give it colorful foods, give it enough fuel, and give it time. If this helped you, subscribe to the channel and share it with someone over 75 who wants to stay strong, steady, and independent. I am Dr. Richard Kim, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.